everyone, welcome back to VR Matrix. Today, we are strapping in and diving deep into a piece of technology that's sitting in millions of living rooms and increasingly on office desks. I'm talking about virtual reality. Now, we've all seen the cool gaming clips, but what actually happens to our brains and minds after long-term exposure? To help us untangle the science, I'm joined by cognitive scientist Dr. Podcast. Dr. Podcast, welcome.
Thanks, Brittany. It's great to be here.
So, let's jump right into it. A lot of people are wondering, we've had modern VR for a while now, so what do we actually know about the psychological effects of using VR over a long period, say after 3 solid years?
It's the golden question, Brittany. The short answer is that the long-term data is still actively being researched, and a lot depends on 3 things: who you are, how often you plug in, and what you're actually doing in there. But what we are seeing is a fascinating double-edged sword. If you use it moderately or therapeutically, it's a massive win for things like cognition and emotional control. But flip that coin over. Excessive use is heavily linked to addiction, social isolation, and some pretty strange dissociative symptoms.
Wow, okay, let's break down the good stuff first. 'Cause I read that VR can actually give your brain a legitimate upgrade. How does that work?
It absolutely can. When you use VR moderately, it acts like a gym workout for your mind. We see measurable improvements in working memory, sustained attention, and visual spatial function. But the most mind-blowing part is what happens to your physical brain structure. Regular use can actually stimulate neurogenesis, which means growing brand new brain cells right in the hippocampus. That's the critical region responsible for spatial memory.
So navigating a 3D virtual world physically builds a better brain map. That's incredible. And it's not just logic, right? There's an emotional benefit too?
Exactly. VR is an incredible tool for emotional regulation and stress relief. For instance, studies show that stepping into nature-based virtual environments can significantly drop your anxiety and boost your mood. Plus, because VR lets you step into someone else's shoes or interact in shared digital spaces, it can build genuine empathy and social confidence. For some people, it's even a safe, non-judgmental space to explore different identities and foster personal growth.
Okay, so it builds empathy, drops stress, and grows brain cells. But you mentioned a dark side. What happens when someone crosses the line into overexposure?
The biggest risk is maladaptive escapism. Because VR is so intensely immersive, it creates this immediate feedback loop of instant gratification, making it highly addictive. People start using it to completely avoid real-world problems.
And what about that dissociative feeling you mentioned? I've heard people say the real world feels fake after they take the headset off.
Yes, that is a real phenomenon called depersonalization or derealization. After long, uninterrupted sessions, your brain can genuinely struggle to distinguish between virtual and objective reality. You feel detached from yourself or your environment. Your long-term spatial perception can even get disrupted, making the physical world look flat, like a 2D screen, or making it hard to judge distances. And for vulnerable individuals, intense experiences can accidentally trigger negative emotions, upsetting memories, or worse, open up an avenue for antisocial, aggressive behavior due to online anonymity.
That is wild. So it really comes down to how we manage it. Let's look at a practical example. Imagine a computer engineer. They are building software, testing products, and could easily spend all day inside a headset. How would they balance their time at work to get a healthy dose of VR without the nasty side effects? Would they break the time up into smaller interactive segments?
Let's break it down into 4 common engineering tasks. Task 1, design. Instead of staring at 2D schematics for hours, they put on the headset for just 15 to 20 minutes to conceptualize a 3D model, like using Gravity Sketch for a car mock-up. It gives them a holistic view and saves time, but then they pull the headset off. Task 2, meetings. Instead of a boring video call, they hold a collaborative 3D design review. But they structure it. A 40-minute meeting might start with 15 minutes in VR looking at a model, followed by a 10-minute non-VR discussion to talk face-to-face, and then a quick final sprint back in VR for targeted fixes. Task 3, UX testing. If they are testing user experience or ergonomics, they limit simulations to 10 to 15-minute windows with mandatory breaks in between. Task 4, coding and debugging. No one should code in VR all day. They could do a targeted 20-minute immersive session to visualize complex 3D code metrics, then head back to a traditional desktop for 30 minutes to actually write and test the code.
I love that. Treats VR like a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. It's localized, intense, and highly efficient. What about the rest of us who might just be gaming or relaxing at home? What are some natural grounding habits we can use to protect our eyes and our sanity?
It boils down to a few gold standard rules. 1. The 30-10 rule. Limit your sessions. Take a 10 to 15-minute break for every 30 minutes of VR. It gives your brain time to reacclimate to reality. If you feel nauseous or dizzy, stop immediately and rest for an hour or two. 2. The 20-20-20 eye rule. For every 20 minutes in VR, look at something 20 feet away in the real world for 20 seconds to relax your eye muscles. And consciously remember to blink. We blink less looking at screens, which causes dry eyes. 3. Physical grounding. When you come out of a session, stretch or exercise to reset your orientation. Practice mindfulness, write in a journal, or pick up a completely analog hobby like reading a physical book or playing a board game to give your brain a total screen reset. For real-world connections, finally, go outside. Virtual nature is great, but cannot replace real sunshine and fresh air. Balance your digital screen time with actual face-to-face human interaction.
Use technology to enhance, not replace, real-world relationships. I think that's the ultimate takeaway here. Dr. Podcast, thank you so much for breaking this down for us.
My pleasure, Brittany. Stay grounded out there.
To our audience, thank you for tuning into our show. Join us next time with a new subject on VR Matrix on the Joe Sneaker channel.